this, but ain't nobody stopping me. That's how I go when you pay for them shows and you study that.
All right. It's January 7th, 2019. We're just flying through the month. And what do we have today, you ask? I know you're wondering, right? Because we had a no-show yesterday. Well, there is a show today. We have one of the originators, somebody who's been on YouTube longer than some of you people in the chat has been alive, frankly. The one, the only. Mr. friggin' Repzion's here with us live. What's going on, man?
Hey. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for showing up. Thanks for not burgering me. I appreciate that.
Of course. I'm a reliable guy. If I say I'm going to do something, I will be there. Always.
I do appreciate it, man. So first and foremost, how you been, brother? How's everything going for you?
Fantastic. I'm doing great. Almost 40,000 new subscribers on YouTube.
Right.
Almost, I think 1.8 million views this month.
Ooh.
Off of Greg. So.
Oh, thank you, Greggy. Oh, thank you, Greggy Poo. We're going to talk about him today. Don't you worry, kids in the chat. Greg conversations incoming indeed, because we got the expert right here. Yeah, you've had a nice run. Your welding stuff is what? You're about certified and everything, right? Everything is going...
Well, yeah, I already am certified.
Okay.
I'm getting my degree spring. I'm actually getting my welding degree. It's kind of separate with trades because like you can get certified and not have a degree and still get a welding job.
Yeah.
But you can get certified and then get a degree and then you can basically say, pay me more money.
Right.
more because you have certified and a degree in it. So but yeah,
it's all more paperwork, more money.
School back in 2017. Pretty much stopped doing YouTube full time to focus on school since whole demonetization thing hit and affected every single person on the platform. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to try to make this work. I have to censor myself. Everything gets demonetized. It's not worth the amount of stress and anxiety. So I'm like, I'm going back to school. Trades it is.
Which is not an easy decision for a lot of people to make. And it
was scary, that's for sure. I'm just really lucky my parents taught me money management. So I had money to put towards school. Otherwise, I would have had to take out, pure loans. Which I have never done for any of my school, ever at any point, because I'm really against loans.
Yeah.
So
they're hell. They're absolutely hell.
No, they are.
They put you in servitude, basically. You're in servitude the rest of your life trying to pay it off, hoping that you can. Holding on to that one hope that you'll be able to.
That's how they make their money. All those interest rates.
It really is.
Well, the cool thing about trade education, though, is that it's not as expensive as like a normal degree. Like, let's say you're going to get a bachelor degree in psychology or something. Like every trades degree, whether it's like a plumber or electrician or a welder or carpentry or stuff like that, it's all like minimum of 2 years typically. So you can get certified and you can get that degree in approximately 2 years, and then you can get a construction job or union job, and it's pretty stable,
right?
Especially for the benefit stuff,
because everyone's always
it's
building,
always in demand,
right? People always need metal welded together. Need to have it happen. This is very true.
Yep, the welders wouldn't exist without electricians. Electricians wouldn't exist without the. Actually, what would I don't know.
A knee bone connected to the leg bone.
I thought there was like a tree there that's all connected, but
it is. Plumbers, they all work in connection with each other. You got to have one to continue on a project so you can, make another shoddy ass house for someone else to live in. Especially in your neck of the woods up there in the waterlogged state of Washington. My God,
Washington, all the green trees and all the wetlands. We have one of the most active volcanoes, which if it explodes, I'm dead.
Yeah, probably. The funny thing is, I lived in Tacoma for a little bit. I had some step family up in that area.
Oh, you lived in Pierce County. That's where Greg did all of his illegal activity.
What a jackass. Oh my God, what a jackass. We'll get to him in just a moment. Now, the thing that was interesting to me with, especially with the welding stuff, and I want to go back to the beginning with you, because it's not an easy decision to make for anybody when you've already made a career off of this platform. But you started here when you were, 14, 15 years old? You've been...
I think... Okay, so it actually goes back further. So the account that I have now was started in 2009, but I started on YouTube in 2007. And my original name was Reptilion, R-E-P-T-I-L. Like, that was my first OG... rep in my name type of thing. And I started in 2007. I started a channel and I made a shit ton of religion videos and defending Christianity and all that stuff. And then I don't remember the reasoning, but I deleted that YouTube channel and then I started a new one, and that's that. So I've been on since 2007, which is what now 10 years?
Yeah, 11. 12. Jesus, we're in 12.
Now.
Holy hell. Depending on when
back in the good days of YouTube, when you had a 5-star rating bar, you had a bar underneath videos, video response bars. I don't know if you remember any of those on YouTube at any point, but like that was the best thing. It was the best community thing YouTube has ever done. Is basically under your video, you know how you can have like merch and stuff and like your stuff underneath a video. It would pop up with this big long bar, and you could just submit a video response, and then you would get an email saying somebody submitted a video response, so you could see it directly.
That's interactive.
And it was one of like it was really interactive, and I love that. And I was super involved. A lot of people were just video responses back to each other, and you could always see it. And now you pretty much have to search your name, go on. It's too much work to see a video response unless somebody tweets it to you, pretty much.
Well, I mean, the scope of the website has changed so much. It's so much bigger than it was, and we're talking about millions, if not hundreds of millions of uploads and views every single day. It feels like it has to go that way, doesn't it? I mean, it's hard to keep things
it
manageable.
It definitely does.
But it's frustrating nonetheless. It's got to be to see some of the functionality go away, and in some ways, some of the soul of YouTube go away to what we have now. This shilling fucking machine of just
corporate big YouTubers, circle jerk of the same people,
right?
YouTube promoting people that we don't know and don't care about. Yeah. Diversity, yay!
Everybody gets an equal opportunity on YouTube, except they don't.
What was it in the YouTube Rewind? That Asian. Diversity. She said something about like pregnant moms on YouTube. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Seriously, pregnant mothers?
We need left-handed handicapped people who are under 5'4" to be recognized in 2019, or I'm quitting. I'm done. They need representation too. Jesus, my God. But it's interesting to me, especially because you're one of these guys that I think can offer perspective on YouTube that not a lot of people can. You've been in a lot of different communities, really. I mean, you've gone to different places. Like you said, you started with religion because you were very heavily into it. Now, were you just born that way, very heavily religious family, and that kind of?
Yes, my family's evangelical Baptist, so I grew up in the fire and brimstone type of teaching shit.
You're right.
Which when you're 5-6 years old, it doesn't give you the most healthy perspective on life. And I became a Christian when I was 6. My mom's like, if you become a Christian, you won't burn in hell. Believe in Jesus Christ, all that stuff. Sunday church every single Sunday. Sunday school. I was involved in Awana. I don't know if people in the chat know what Awana is, but it's like this Christian thing during the week that you go to and you memorize Bible verses. It goes back in cubbies. So Awana has like these different trees. Like cubbies is for like 3-year-olds, and then there's Sparks, which is like for 6-year-olds, and then there's like TNT for like 10-year-old. Like it's this whole.
They give TNT to 10-year-olds. Ages. What religion is this? I want dynamite at 10. Holy shit!
I'm trying to remember what it was like. Teenage something. I don't remember what it stood for, but it was. Basically, at 3 years old, I was handed this little booklet for cubbies, and I had this little blue vest with all these little pins on it, and I would have to memorize Bible verses. I'm not joking. Literally at 3 to 4 years old, and I was memorizing Bible verses, and I'd have somebody sign it, and then I'd like complete the book and get like a little pin or something. That's like I memorized 50 Bible verses. Woohoo! I'm a great cubby. And it goes all the way up to 18, and I went all the way up to like 15, 16 before I left religion.
Right.
And it was quite the transition.
Right. Now you left religion because you had some hard times when you were part of the church and everything, unfortunately. I don't know how much you want to get into that. I know it's kind of a dark subject and everything.
Oh, no.
But it changed your life.
Diddled.
I mean, like
I was a diddle. I got diddled in the church. I'll just say that. That's the.
Oh no, you were a statistic.
It screwed me up.
Oh no. Some shenanigans happened. Oh, that's never.
And thankfully, that person is no longer involved and active in the church.
I would hope so.
Yeah, it was.
Jesus.
Let me close my door. My dog. Sorry about the bark.
No, it's okay. Who doesn't love a good dog bark every now and then? Hell, if you're on camera right now, which is completely my fault that you're not, because I just started the whole non-camera thing. I'm just going with it. But hell, I'd have you cuddle the dog on camera. I love dogs, so which is something we have in common.
She's a great dog, but she makes me shit myself too much. She barks at random increments.
So let me ask you, with that situation with the diddling in the church and all of that happened. Your words, man. Your words.
No, it's good.
A lot of people deal with this in a lot of different ways. And obviously, things like that lead to, especially, and not even just because of that in itself. It was religion. It was everything mixed into one. You know, it leads to, you know, depression, mental illness, all kinds of things. And you decided to kind of channel that into a YouTube channel. Why did you decide to go that route, especially when you were starting with defending religion?
Honestly, because I was severely isolated when the incident happened. And like the church, I tried to bring it up with like people in the church, and I was given horrible reasons and responses to like, everything happens for a reason, you know, these types of things will help you, make you stronger. And it was just, everything was unsatisfactory in terms of like seeking out answers.
Wait.
Because I was trying to.
You went to people in your church and said, this guy fucked me. And they said, it's going to make you stronger? That was the holy shit. This is a really typical Southern Baptist type of way of dealing with stuff. Instead of actually addressing a problem that's brought up in the church, they use scripture and, you know, religion to just say that, you know, it's going to help you become a better person. When in reality, they're just trying to protect the religion.
Yeah, when things escalated, you know, I was a big self-harmer at one point too.
Oh.
Have all the scars on my arms from that. I was told the same thing. It was like, you know, you'll get through this. God's just testing you, sort of shit. And it was horrible for my self-esteem at that age. You know, going through puberty and all, and that's what you get told. Like it's not normal. So I use pretty much YouTube was my venting tool. That's what I used it for because I had nothing else.
Right.
Nothing. Like I had literally nothing. I had no one that I could really talk to, so I just used YouTube as a means to vent out all of my frustrations and confusion and pain and hurt and mental problems that I was dealing with at the time on YouTube.
Yeah. And
that's how it started. And then with that transition of me venting, I came across people like the Amazing Atheist. I don't know if you know who that is,
yes.
but I came across, you know, a bunch of atheist channels and then creationists, Venom Fang X back in the day, a big creationist, and I would just watch these debates between atheists and Christians and so on and so forth, and it influenced me. It helped me question stuff on why the way that I felt was valid and so on and so forth, and just escalated from there. And I deconverted out over, you know, it was a year and a half, 2 years after.
Wow. And you can understand why. I mean, when you watch these type of videos and you hear just regular people talking, which is essentially what YouTube was, maybe not as much now. We still have it, but nowhere near in the same volume as back then. You're hearing normal people talk about something that hits home to you, and you're hearing new ideas that you were never allowed to hear before because everything really just came back to, well, God has his will and you'll deal with it.
It's a real echo chamber in a church.
Yeah.
100%. That's all it is. Like everything's circular. You try to seek help. And if you go to, because I was somebody I was always a really curious kid. I always asked questions.
Right.
I'm not a skeptic, but like I was just always curious about everything. I wanted to know reasons for why things operated and the way things are the way they are. So, you know, when I would ask things, even like when the whole diddle from the stuff happened, and I was asking like, why is this happening to me?
Right.
Why did this happen to me? Type of stuff. You know, is there any examples or any explanations that people could explain to me why this would happen to me? Why did I deserve it? Was it okay? Was it normal? Like these are questions I was asking myself, and
Sure.
I couldn't get any answers from anybody.
Did you find out if there was anybody else in the church who was affected in the exact same ways? Have you kept in touch with anybody?
There was. Yeah.
Did it get broken up? What
actually
happened?
A legal case.
Okay, cool.
There was a legal case with the person. The person got taken out of the church completely.
Hopefully in jail.
And I believe. So there's multiple people in the church that were involved with some disgusting, repulsive activities. And I know one of them got registered as a sex offender. I know that for a fact.
That's good.
But that wasn't the person who got registered as a sex offender wasn't involved with me, but I did know them. And I know the people. He had several adopted daughters, which makes it even more fucked up.
God.
That he had adopted children and then was sexually abusing them.
Oh my God. So this just sent ripples and a tidal wave really through the entire community. Do you still keep in touch with anyone in the area there now, or are you completely cut off?
No, I'm pretty much all cut off. My parents, when I came to them about what happened and everything, they pretty much left the church. And
Okay.
thankfully they did.
You got some good
Like,
ones.
my parents were very supportive in every way when it came to that stuff.
Not all parents are. You know, it's crazy. You see these stories. You know, I'm from Illinois originally, and right now I don't know if you're paying attention to what's happening with the Catholic Church in Illinois, but recently 600 members of the clergy have been confirmed as, you know, fucking kids over the years, which is incredible to me. 600. That's a big number for the entire country.
That's a huge number
for the state. And there are just stories that go back decades of parents knowing about it, possibly even helping the situations continue to happen simply to protect their own ideology. The fact is, people will put their own ideologies in front of even their own children if push comes to shove in certain circumstances. You got very fortunate. You did not have that.
That's so abusive. I don't know how any parent can do that, but they do it.
Right. Right. Because
God, to hide and justify abuse is just blows my mind.
You know, to relate it to YouTube, it's kind of funny too when you think about it.
It's one of the few things that I get angry just thinking about it. It's one of the few things that pisses me off to the max.
People hate when their beliefs are shown to be fraudulent because they believe it somehow makes it representative.
Well, it's not even fraudulent, it's even questioned.
Sure, that's true.
That's more just asking questions because they don't want to face the reality.
Yeah.
They want to face people challenging their worldview.
Is it somehow?
But if your worldview isn't challenged, you're never going to and learn anything.
Got to push out of the bubble. Absolutely. So when you changed over and you started dealing in this different community with all these skeptics and atheists and everything, what led you to become an atheist yourself? What was the turning point? This is enough for me? Obviously, the situations that happened had a big effect, but what was the final door closing and what led you to becoming an atheist completely and trying to, you know, talk about things in a different way?
Well, this is good. I have mentioned this in a video before, but despite all the abuse and everything within the church, the main thing that like really pushed me over the top, and this is going to sound really cheesy and stupid, but it was actually a girl.
Oh,
believe it or not.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, because my mom's a sweetheart, and my mom had this thing where she would always pray for me to be in a relationship with, you know, a godly Christian girl.
Right.
And there was this girl that I really liked. Like, I had a big crush on her. She knew that I liked her. I actually took her out, like, for coffee. I made her a little, I hand-carved a little locket chest, and I inscribed a Bible verse on it and put, like, a sparrow on it, you know, being all trying to be Christian boy romantic. I gave it to her, and she basically said, you know, I don't feel that way about you, blah, 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 blah. And my mom had been telling me over and over and over and over, she's like, Daniel, this girl's the one for you. Daniel, I've been praying about this. This girl really, I feel like there's a connection between you and her. And like, you need to, you know, take initiative here and you need to, you know, get out there and you need to ask her out. Do you want to be in a relationship thing? And I was just friends with her for a couple of years, but I wanted more than just a friendship. I wanted a girlfriend, like, you know, a godly Christian girl and a godly Christian boy. You know, what could go wrong? Well, she didn't feel the same way. And from that point, I was so angry at my mom, and I had a lot of resentment for my mom for a duration because, you know, her constant reassurance that, you know, this person's for me.
Right.
I'm praying about it. The prayer is like, my mom's one of those prayer ladies, so she would always just tell me things like, this is God's going to answer your prayer here. She's a wonderful lady. And it turned out to be, it wasn't.
Right.
And I felt betrayed by my mom. I felt betrayed by her prayers. I felt betrayed by my own prayers because I was praying for this girl too, to be someone who would be active in my life and we'd make babies and have a family together. Like, that was my literal process when I was that young.
Oh, wow.
And it came out to be false. And then I made a video. I remember it was like why I left religion. And I think I even had eyeliner on in that video because I was going through my emo phase with my mullet hair and my black fingernail polish and all that stuff. But yeah, I mentioned that story, and that was the pushing point. I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore. All the abuse, and then I get rejected by this girl who I was supposedly supposed to get involved with by a prayer that my mom designated to me. So
it was an unanswered prayer that did it. Wow. I mean, so it
wasn't the diddle. It wasn't a diddle. It was a girl. So.
That's incredible. It seems like it's even more that it was an unanswered prayer that you saw that all the praying, all the reassurances from everybody that supports you in your life, it fell flat. So what are you supposed to believe in? And you chose to believe in yourself instead, which is an interesting way because not everybody goes that way.
Nope, not at all.
So with that change,
but when you do choose to believe in yourself, there's a stage of like losslessness.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you feel like you don't know who you are anymore because your entire life has been that identity. You've associated with the religion. You've associated with this person, this intelligent, superstitious thing gives you comfort. And from a sociological standpoint, I understand like why people believe in religion and why people look to want a belief in God, because it gives them comfort.
Sure.
At the end of the day, I don't care if people want to believe in intelligent design or a God to have as a personal relationship for comfort, but I couldn't do that no more. Like I had done it my whole life, and up to this point, I'm like, I gotta let this go. And now I feel lost. Like I don't know anything.
Right.
My whole worldview has been shaped in a matter of a few years, and I don't know who I am. And then I just started making videos against religion, and that's where it started.
Yeah, I mean, so that
It
hole
went on from there.
That hole was caved in, and you filled it with what a lot of people fill it with: anger, and resentment.
Absolutely.
And you were looking for questions.
I was a militant little shithole. my old religious stuff. I'm like, everybody who believes in God's a horrible person.
Oh, you were
They're
that
horrible.
atheist.
Like, yes, I was one of those militant jackasses who, like, if you believe in this, I want nothing to do with you. Now, obviously, I don't stand by that anymore. But
Right.
that was just the militantism and the anger of losing everything that you once knew and
How old were you?
adopting something. I was, when I fully transitioned out, I believe I was like just turning on to 17.
Oh yeah, of course. What do you know at 16, 17? You don't know much. Your asshole works pretty well.
No, you don't know anything.
Right. You know how poo is made, but that's about it. There's not a lot else. So how long did it take you to kind of find a balance, strike this deal with yourself to kind of accept the past and embrace the future? When do you think you found that balance?
It's more recent than people think. I would say around 2013, 2014 is where I really, really like officially knew. So yeah, it's not super long ago where I was like, you know what, I'm confident in what I believe now, and I'm done without that, and I just got to move forward. I can't let the past bring me down. I can't let the past define my future, which is what a lot of people do, especially when they grow up in religion. Is they let that shame and guilt and all that stuff just control them and bring them down, sit in a state of mental depression for years and years. And I got into therapy. My parents helped me to get into therapy. I went through all that stuff and got it all fixed and resolved, which I'm thankful for my parents for doing that, because if I hadn't gone to therapy, I don't think I'd still be here right now. Like I was borderline, suicidal. I
went through
tried
trauma.
a couple suicidal. Yeah, I had to. You need help when you have trauma. Like the biggest thing about people seem to think that if you have been abused in any way, sexually or physically, that somehow getting help for that trauma is a sign of weakness, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It isn't. And if anyone's watching here, like, it's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign of strength.
It's the ultimate sign of
strength.
strength.
Asking for help is never a sign of weakness.
Right.
But growing up, my dad was one of those people who's like, don't ask for help for anybody. It's a sign of weakness. Like, I grew up with that type of dad browbeating, like, be a man, don't cry, sort of shit.
Right. Well, why do you need to cry when you got the comfort of God? But when all that gets stripped away,
exactly. Don't wipe your tears off.
Now that all gets stripped away, and you have to start believing in your own reality, your own truth, and you got to find your own answers. So when you have trauma at a young age, especially, you have to get help. And you have, again, props to your parents, because a lot of parents will fucking use that as an excuse. Like, this represents me somehow. This is on me, and I can't deal with that, so I'm not going to get my children help. They did for you, and it's really good that you did, because now you become a father yourself, right? You have 2 kids, correct?
No, 2 dogs.
A dog. God damn it, Faye. Faye gave me bad information.
Those are my children.
Oh, Faye, I hate you so much. Okay, all right.
Not a father yet. Someday,
man.
I'm hoping
So
I will. But I do refer publicly to, like, my children as my 2 fur babies. So
Fair enough.
I can understand how you'd be confused with that.
I may have misread the information too, because I do that sometimes, but I'm blaming Faye for that one. That's my first big faux pas in an interview.
No worries. You're good.
So how many times have you been to Mars, by the way, Mr. Repzion? Jesus Christ. Well, that's all right. It happens to the best of us. It's very possible that I misread it. It's okay. You know what? Hey, love is
You're
love,
good,
and you
you're
got fur babies. That's totally fun. Oh my God. So, all right, the entire point that I was going to now is no longer there. So we'll move on to my next question when it comes to everything that happened so now that you've transitioned and you've found balance and, you're becoming a man and everything, you're an adult and all this stuff. What are your perspective and your thoughts on religion and atheism now?
That's a well. My thoughts on religion, I kind of already mentioned it, but I'll just water it down really simple. I am not against people who have a faith or believe in any particular religion except Islam. That's the only thing.
Right.
It's like the one thing I hate. But like, I don't care if people believe in a deity. It doesn't bother me anymore. It's not something I get angry about. I think the only times that I think that belief in any sort of deity is a problem is obviously when you won't get your children medicine and you rely upon prayer and stuff, and then your child dies, stuff like that. Like, there's still instances of stuff like that, of people misusing religion, and that's always going to be a thing, misusing religion, and then having somebody die as a result of your lack of getting actual proper medical help.
Yeah.
We're seeing that more. It's still such a big thing. I can't believe it. I always read headlines like that almost every week. Some person doesn't get their child help because they choose to, pray and God's going to fix me. That type of stuff is horrible. But overall, if people want to use religion and God as a comfort method, if that's what helps them feel wanted, as delusional as I think it is, I'm okay with it.
Sure.
Believe what you want. As long as you're not harming people, as long as you're not abusing people, as long as you're not taking advantage, scamming, people financially through the act of religion and stuff. I don't care.
Yes, the ones that need a new airplane. God tells them they need a new airplane.
Yeah, the $1.5 million jet. Yeah.
This will make my connection with God will be stronger than ever. I'll be closer to him. I can help you more. My God.
But in regards to atheism itself, I don't talk about that on my channel anymore because I feel like I don't really talk about religion or atheism anymore because that was a huge phase of my channel because, again, I was venting everything out. So I pretty much, all my past videos have said everything that I've ever wanted to say on atheism. There's nothing more that can be really said about, atheists versus Christians because it's the same arguments over and over and over again. Nothing's new with the whole topic of atheism, just my lack of belief in God. That's it. Right. Well, technically, I'm an agnostic atheist, but
big difference. Big difference.
There is. I'm agnostic atheist. They're not mutually exclusive. I know people like to think that they are, but they're not.
They're not. That's very true.
I don't talk about atheism anymore because I've talked about it. I've said everything I needed to say. I still find there are some people who are atheists, or I should say, what's his name? Not Christopher Hitchens. Sam Harris, for example.
Sam Harris, okay.
I'm not the biggest fan of Sam Harris because I find him to be slightly a bit too militant for my taste.
Right.
He has the type of, approach like someone believes in religion, they're automatically fucking stupid. They're just horrible, horrible people.
Right. And that strips down critical thought.
On here? I don't know.
Right. It strips down critical thought.
Am I allowed
completely.
to use the F word on
this?
this?
Oh, yeah. Fuck, shit, balls, cock. Oh, absolutely. Please.
All right.
Yeah. Go crazy. I don't care. Shit. But this channel was dead up until a week ago.
Because it just came out and I don't. It's like, oh, sorry, I said that.
No, let it go, man. No. This is your interview.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of militant atheism who just, if someone's religious, like, you won't talk to them. They're just dumb. And, it's too dismissive.
Right.
Type of thing. Other than that, like, I'm not a fan of militant atheism. Or I should clarify. I hate Atheism Plus. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
That one, no, that's a new term to me. No, that's a new term to me. Oof.
Atheism Plus, I hate. I despise that sort of community / whole atheism sphere, and it's really intolerant of anyone with a different worldview outside of that atheistic worldview that they have, and I hate Atheism Plus. And I think Sam Harris and Richard Dawkins identify in that group. I think I may be misspeaking on this. If I am, please correct me, chat.
Oh, they will. I'm sure they will.
Stuff like that. It's too militant for me.
Right.
It's way too intolerant. Just no flexibility. Just dismiss everybody. Everybody's stupid unless you think the way that I do.
Well, that makes sense because it goes back.
That's religion too,
right.
though. Like,
exactly.
People. This is not just a specific thing to religion only. It's an ideology. Atheism is this ideology, and then they take it and then they just go extreme with it. And I'm against that of all forms.
Extremism in any form is not good, whether it's for good intentions, bad intentions. Whenever you go extreme, you've gone off the rails. It's not a good thing at all because you lose your balance. Once you lose your balance, you lose sight of what's important. And what's important is the balance itself. I know that sounds very hippy-dippy and circular, but it's very true.
But it's true. It's absolutely true.
So as you continued on and you were so you had your phases, you got militant, you went on, the anti-religion, you were atheist, you started meeting new friends, you started changing your content again. What transition did you go to after all of that? Because this is where your channel started to get pretty hot.
So that was the whole YouTube era of social justice warriors. And I'm going to say like almost literally everybody on this platform who does commentary videos, like even if they didn't cover social justice issues and activism and like idiots and like, Jordan Peterson, all the crazy students who are like, try to get him fired for not using the certain pronouns, stuff like that. The rise of anti-SJW YouTubers. So I went through another phase on my channel of making anti-SJW content, which is, crazy people who are like radical feminists and people who demand that you use their pronouns. And if you misuse their pronouns, you're transphobic, all that stuff. So like, if you're automatically racist if you're white just because you can't speak on an issue because you're white just because like that sort of stuff. That was
you didn't watch the Cosby Show. You're racist. Yeah. Been there.
Yeah, exactly. And I made a bunch of stuff on that, and I rode that train for a while. And I'm gonna be honest, like I did that because it was popular.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I was at that point. I was doing YouTube as an income, so you have to transition and have to adapt to what is popular.
Right.
That's what I saw that, and atheism and all my religious stuff wasn't as popular anymore. I mean, it was, but I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't enjoy talking about it. So I moved on to the anti-SJW stuff. And then I did that for at least 2 years. And then the whole demonetization hit. And then all the social justice stuff just stopped because I couldn't make any money from it.
Right.
I'd put 20, 30 minutes into making a video response, and it doesn't go out to my sub box. Nobody sees it. It gets 20,000 views instead of 150,000 views. And it's like, what am I doing? Yeah, crippled. And then I stopped. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to go back to school. And that was that.
So in between all of that, you ran into a person that we all know and love. And it really did change the course of your channel. I mean, it's what you kind of became known for. And that would be the gift that keeps on giving, Mr. Greg Onision himself. How did you find Onision? Yes. I know you're very big in the Reddit community as well. Is that how it all kind of started with how you found Onision?
I found Onision. So back in the day, this goes back in the old days of YouTube, like 2008, 2009. There was you had like a community feed tab thingy. Mm-hmm. So basically your subscribers, and like if I was subscribed to somebody, I could see what they like, what they share, and stuff, and what they comment on. Like there's a point where you could actually, it was like a Facebook feed where somebody commented, if I commented on another person's video, it would pop up in everybody's feed who subscribed to me that I wrote a comment on that.
Oh shit.
It was honestly, it was pretty genius.
Right.
Because anytime I would write a comment on somebody else's video, my audience would jump over there and like watch the video and then like reply to me and stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
Right. And I was subscribed to somebody who wrote a comment on one of Onision's videos. And my first video I ever saw of Greg was he's came out and said it's fake now, but him recording his was it girlfriend having a seizure, that video?
Yeah. Oh, God.
I'm
Classic.
not familiar with that. But
classic Greg.
Yeah, the classic one. And I saw the Amazing Atheist made a video response to this guy, filming his girlfriend having a seizure and just like shoving a camera in her face. Look at this. Look at this. Like, who does that, right?
Right.
Vegan gains. But besides that.
That's an apt comparison.
Vegan gains?
Oh, yeah.
Vegan gains, filming his dad having a heart attack.
Jesus. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw that video and I made a response to it. And that was that. And that was the start of the Onision era. And like Onision made a lot of controversial stuff before that.
Yeah.
But that's how I heard of him, was through the whole filming his girlfriend having a seizure. And that's when I caught on.
And you learned that through Amazing Atheist.
Yeah. And I made some early Onision videos. I've removed a lot of them for like Reflect and They were just kind of like shit posts type of thing,
Right.
in responses. But some of my old responses are still up, and that's where it all started.
What?
And then it went through a duration. Man, I think over the course of my entire time on YouTube, I've made like I think 16 videos on Gregory, and I have 1,300 videos. Actually, I think I have almost 1,400 videos on my entire channel.
Right. So
just off and on, I would update people with Onision, his dumb stupid things that he does on YouTube, and it became popular. Like, I'm not tooting my own horn here, but people always associate me as like the original Onision detractor.
Yeah.
I was the guy who made responses to Onision, and people loved that shit back in the old days of YouTube. Like it was everybody's bread and butter. Every time Onision would upload a new video, Repzion, where's the new video? Where's the new video for Onision? I jumped on that train, and then eventually it died down because I'm like, dude, I'm tired of responding to this guy. He's an idiot. I'm not going to make any videos about him anymore, which I didn't for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, he started a forum with rating people's bodies and all that weird shit. And then I was like, okay, you know what? Time to break out the casket. It's time to make some Onision videos again. And here we are.
Here we are.
2019.
Still going.
Eight, 9 years love story, right?
It is. Everybody loves the adversary story. You can't tell a story about Superman without Lex Luthor. You got to have somebody on the other side.
It's too important.
It is. From a narrative standpoint.
My newest video last night that I released, it's like people were saying, "Oh my god, I haven't seen you from 2008. I remember your old Onision videos." Like, oh gee, I can't believe it's 10 years later, and here he is, still talking about Greggy Poo. It's great. I love it. And now that I don't do YouTube as for sustainable income. I do it for just pure fucking fun. That's it. Fun. I'm like, people see how much fun I'm having making these responses to him. Like it's wonderful, and I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I have the subscriber gain. I don't know. It's like people see a difference. It's clearly now that it's a hobby and not a job. I love what I'm doing.
There's so much fakeness out there going on with content creators and fabricating stories to make things interesting. People want to connect. That's
mystery box from the dark web. Here's me putting an iPad. I clearly got this from the dark web. Clearly, guys.
Clearly. It's funny. It's just like you have all these things that happen. People want to connect. They want to have that connection with something real. And I think it's not a big shock that now that you're revisiting old topics that you've gotten known for with a new perspective, a new light. Now it's getting popular again. That makes perfect sense to me. But I want to ask you a question I want to ask you a question on the videos that you did before. Now, when you started doing the Greg stuff, you started doing the Onision stuff, and it took off. Would you say that was it part of it became an obsession with who he was, or were you trend chasing a little bit and continuing because the videos were getting popular and allowing you to do this partially as a living?
Oh, both.
Both.
Okay. Well, I would say I wouldn't say I didn't do it for money. Like when I first started doing it, I hardly made anything on YouTube. This was before even networks really a big thing.
Yeah.
I did it because one, it was popular. Mm-hmm. And as I've already established, like I was the person, and I still kind of am, but not so much. If a big trend is happening, I kind of want to jump on it and give my thoughts about it. Sure. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And I've been known for making responses to people. My atheist stuff, I would make responses to creationists. My anti-SJW stuff, I'd make responses to social justice warriors. I love making response videos because there's commentary videos, but then there's response videos. And I like response videos because it's something different, and it's not super frequent here on YouTube. No. Having actual response videos. Because, you have a lot of commentary channels. So a person respond to a video, they'll give their commentary, but the problem is they don't show themselves for the most part. There's no connection because they're talking through a microphone. Yeah. There's no face, there's no expressions, there's no emotions, there's nothing. And that's where I feel like my channel is slightly different, is because I do full responses, and I'm not just doing 5-minute responses. I'm doing full 25, 30-minute videos.
Right. It's not the jump cut. Yeah, no. It's a big difference. It's a huge difference because you have the very formulaic commentary community video that you'll see the jump cut after jump cut, which is fine. I get why people do it. It makes it easier to get through. Yeah. Some of this shit sucks to talk about, and nobody wants to hear it, let alone hear the ums and the ahs and everything. But I find it interesting when people kind of embrace it and will allow the long format video go a little bit more, so you could see the emotion, you could see the connection.
Yeah, I try not to edit. People get so pissed off at my most, like, this year, I should say, like the last 6-9 months, I have been trying to do. I edit my videos all the time. Like, it's clear as day as I edit them. Sure. But I try to keep in like pauses and stuff, because I legitimately pause when I speak. When I'm in front of a camera and I'm talking and trying to concise and put out my thoughts, I pause sometimes for like 2 or 3 seconds. I'm like, how do I want to word this? And people get pissed off. They're like, why don't you put a jump cut in there? I'm like, because it's more natural.
Right.
I want people to feel like I'm coming across as authentic.
I think that makes perfect sense. I think that's the whole connection. It's what I live on. By the way, I hope people like me enough to be able to stick around and listen to some of the stupid shit that I say. That's what I hope for. I'm not the funniest guy in the world. I try to be honest. I try to be fair, and I try to connect with people. That's what I go for. And it seems like you try to basically do. Yeah,
I like your fairness. I definitely saw that in the Keemstar interview. Because I would not have been able to do that.
It was hard.
I would have lost my shit and just like start poking fun at him. You were so calm and like I couldn't believe how calm.
Once we got the screaming out of the way, man, I was like, this is my opportunity. You don't get these very often. Keemstar doesn't do those interviews, man. The last time he did anything like that was when he did COD. So this was it. I was like, this is my home run chance. Let's fucking choke up and see what we can do at the plate here. And it went well. It went really well. But I think that's kind of an interesting parallel between you and I, because, Keemstar and I will probably dance again. I'm fairly certain of that in one way, shape, form, or another. I think he'll end up coming back on. I think he had a better time than he wants to ever admit, even though, motherfucker, say my name next time you talk about me on Baited. Say my fucking name. Say it. You want to. Fucking say it. But you have, with the Onision thing, do you think that there is something that you're going to always dance with this guy? Is Onision your Joker? And if so, why? What is so fascinating about him that you have to keep talking about the guy?
Because I've never seen anyone on YouTube that has been on this platform as long as him, and there's always drama surrounding him. Mm-hmm. Like every week, every month, every year, 365 days is like, it's just nonstop. It's something new. And it blows my mind that someone like him can have so much controversy and drama always surrounding him. But because he publicizes everything, he does this to himself, whether it's intentionally or not, I don't know. Maybe that's his whole scheme, is to get people to talk about him all the time. I don't know. If it works, I enjoy it. It's fun. But I think as long as Onision is on this platform and keeps doing things publicly like he does and getting himself in hot water, I'm going to keep responding to it. It's going to always be there, that rivalry between me and Greg, because not many people talk about Greg much anymore.
No.
Most people have he's a dead topic. He only gets 5,000 views on his videos. He's not worth talking about, which is fair. Maybe he isn't worth talking about, but I enjoy it. My audience enjoys it. And it's just like, it's classic. It's classic Repzion versus Greg Onision, like in the old days. I don't plan on stopping it unless he finally stops and grows up and actually, is an adult for once. Good and luck. Actually acts his age.
Good luck.
If he stops that, then I won't have any content. But if he keeps doing what he's doing, I have to make. That's just how it works.
He's giving you money.
Yeah,
and because
he's giving me content. He's giving me subscribers. He paid my goddamn. I don't know if you know the Drunken Peasants.
Yes.
But he was on stream with them for New Year's. And I donated $50 to the stream, so my message got read out loud. And I wrote a message. I'm like, hey, Greg, I just want to thank you for paying my college tuition my last 2 quarters. Because that video that went viral, 1.3 million views now, I made enough to pay the last 2 quarters of my tuition.
Oh,
and it's wonderful.
Congratulations.
And I sent him a donation. Not Greg, I didn't send a donation, but I sent the Drunken Peasants donation. I'm like, hey, thanks for paying my college tuition.
You're not going to fund his wetlands project. I mean, come on. Why wouldn't you want to fund that shit?
I gave him $1.70 the other day on stream.
Did you really?
That was my. I did. That was my funding of him.
So you're taking the piss out of him. So this is partly
absolutely.
Taking the piss out of him.
It's more of like a fucking shit troll. I love trolling him. It's so fun to respond to him.
He makes it easy.
It's just, he does make it easy. It's too easy almost. I don't have to dig around or do like anything. Everything is just broadcasted. Legal court documents are made public because he's a Dumbo.
Yeah.
It's like, incriminates himself, and I exploit that.
Nothing wrong with it.
That's the reality.
There's nothing wrong with it, and I love the fact that you own it. By the way, our mutual love bug, VHS Archive, she just let us know in the chat that you have passed 540,000 subscribers. Congratulations.
Oh, shit. Wow, you're right. Oh, my goodness.
That's pretty incredible.
I've never actually seen a live subscriber update thing in my life before.
You got to watch that.
It's actually going up.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, now see, you got to do what everybody else does.
But see,
you got to put your camera on
I
it.
can't do that. I can't look. I can just be grateful for the numbers, but like, I'm one of those people, like, I don't want to look at numbers. I want to just stay away from that. Seeing like, I'm not trying to gain numbers. And I feel like if I get too focused on that, if I lose numbers, then I get mad. And then I'm like, why am I losing subs? I don't want to be that person. Like, I try not to focus on that. If it performs well, performs well. If I gain, I gain. If I don't, I don't.
Sure. No, I'm the exact same way.
Care about that stuff.
I was like that with Catch 33 when everything happened. You know, Tommy took off, blew up with Baited. I got a residual when Catch 33 happened. And then I realized very quickly those subs are fraudulent. They're fraudulent. I didn't earn those subs. I did 2,500, 3,000 subs as a wrestling guy, mainly wrestling and video games. That's how I got a little bit of a small tic-tac of a following, you know? And then I got a little bit of notoriety because of Catch 33. And then everything just died. After that I died. I accepted it fully. It was totally fine. Right before the Keemstar thing, I bled so many subs. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's fine. I still have the 30, 40, 50 people who show up and continue to be entertained. That's all I need. But when you start having the changes, like I've had a little bit of a growth and all of that, and you with this huge video, all the new subs and everything that's happening, does it change your perspective a little bit? You've built this other career now. You got the welding in your sights. Do you have any regrets? Maybe you should have put a little bit more into YouTube, or are you very happy and content with what decisions you made?
Oh, I'm very happy and content. Absolutely. I don't regret it at all. Going back to school has been the best decision of my life. No regrets. Taking a break from YouTube, and still taking a break technically from YouTube, it's been wonderful for me. I have felt like a lot of pressure. I felt a lot of demand and just lift off my shoulders because YouTube wasn't a focus for anymore. I didn't have to worry about income. I mean, I did, but like I wasn't using that as an income.
Right.
I made other ways. Like I did some Uber Eats stuff and, you know, making money on the side and stuff. I've always been a hard worker. That's like my parents instilled that in me.
That's good.
And you work for what you want, and yeah, no regrets at all from that.
Because even with an uptick, it can all go away instantly, and you know that because of the perspective you have.
These numbers are fickle.
Very.
Your audience is fickle. Everything is fickle on YouTube.
Very.
You know, you do one thing wrong, your whole audience will turn against you. You'll lose thousands of subscribers, and you're dead, and nobody wants to pay any attention to you. You know, that's just the culture of YouTube.
And then
not exactly, because look at Jake Paul. He's still popular.
Yeah, but for some really bad reasons, you know.
Horrible reasons. Like his reputation's like drenched.
Yeah,
it's like he may get a lot of views, but like people hate him.
Right, with a passion, and he's had multiple opportunities to resurrect in ways, and so is Onision, which I find interesting. You'll see these guys who have opportunities to kind of either because they die out for a little bit, like Onision did, or Jake Paul with the boxing and the other things that he's had to be. His brother kind of bailed him out a little bit when he had his big shenanigans with the dead body and stuff. You have all these opportunities to make something different, but you'll find these guys doubling and tripling down. Onision's the classic, the super guy who will double and triple down on any situation at any given time. Do you find that? How do you feel about that? Well, these guys will not simply change and learn from life. You did, and you arguably could have had every excuse in the world to go for. I mean, you have the sob story of all sob stories if you want to use it. You chose not to. What makes you different? What makes them
that's
different
true. Well, I mean, you just kind of admitted, like, I adapted and I changed content. That's what YouTube is. You have to adapt. That's all YouTube is adapting to things that change. And Greg has never done that. He never will. Well, he could in the future. I don't know.
He's gonna have to lose a lot.
And if these people don't adapt, then I'm just gonna exploit the fact that they can't grow and make money and make responses and just focus on their idiocy, because that's what's profitable and that's what's fun and that's what it's entertainment. What it boils down to.
At this point, you're entertaining yourself.
It's just entertainment.
Thank you, Illuminati, for the big donation.
Exactly.
So you're entertaining yourself just as much as you are your audience at this point.
Mm-hmm. It's pure for fun. It's not about money anymore to me. It used to be. That's all I used to. And that's why I was so unhappy, is because it's stressful having a fluctuated income that's never consistent. Because, every month your ad revenue is dependent upon your CPM and how well your videos perform. And if your videos get demonetized or it doesn't perform well, then you're screwed. You don't have enough money to pay rent. It's horrible. Like, I'm not going to say don't ever try to make money off YouTube, but like if that's your goal to only make money, you're going to fail because it's too stressful. It's anxiety inducing. That's why I chose a trade job that's always going to be in demand. People, buildings, structures, pipes, all that stuff. It's like I'm always going to have a way to make money and fall back on stuff like that.
Learn welding, kids. Work for Repzion, will work for you. Get some welding skills.
Hey, it's going to happen at some point. I'm going to teach some people some stuff.
Oh, real? Okay. You cut out a little bit.
It will happen.
You're going to start doing some welding videos on YouTube? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's a thing women and men can learn.
Very true.
It's great.
Do you think that's slippery slope, though? I mean, how long before you start burning shit on YouTube for views? I mean, everybody else is doing that shit. I mean, you're sitting here, you're going to weld, and you're like, oh, look at this project. And you're like, oh, fuck, I caught someone flying.
I thought about that, and I would have to do something that's a little bit different than just people, melting something or like blowing something up. I was thinking, I thought about this. Like, if that was ever happen where people would want me, I would try to obtain different types of metals. Like, this is my concept. I would try to obtain something like titanium and aluminum, right? These are two different metals. And I would try to weld them together with like things that normally wouldn't work, because when you have aluminum, the metal, you have to have an aluminum wire. You have to have all these aluminum brush, because aluminum's it can be contaminated really easy with the air and stuff. It doesn't weld like steel and other metals that you can just plaster stuff on and connect it. And I would just make it based upon like more of an educational, this is why titanium and aluminum don't actually weld together and fuse, and the difference between the metals and stuff. Like, I want my welding stuff, when that happens, and it will, is going to be purely for education. That's the goal.
Are you going to keep it on your main channel, or are you going to create something different for it?
Oh, no, it will be on my main channel. Absolutely. It will be on my... And I'm probably going to lose subs when that happens, but I don't give a shit. It's not about that.
No, it's not.
It's about education.
I want to move
I love teaching people. It's like something that, as I'm getting older, I love to educate stuff. So I'm getting older and I'm learning more stuff about life, and if I can teach people things and life skills, especially like welding stuff, and use around the house, why not?
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. I mean, you have some knowledge, why not pass it on? It's a cool way to use YouTube in a different way than you've used it in the past. And it just shows your further evolution. That's a pretty cool thing. Again, you have perspective that not a lot of people have. You've been through so many different iterations. You've been in so many different communities. You have seen different things. And that's the next thing I want to ask you about is communities, because we see how important they are. And you've talked about it multiple times throughout the show now, about, having to interact with different things, whether it be Reddit and everything else. I have run into the anti-O community fairly heavily, because I have a big anti-Oer as one of my co-hosts in Faye. And, we of course, we know VHS Archive and all that. So I have a lot of people that are part of this community. What do you feel about these communities that are designed around a negative, but being a positive at the same time? I mean, yes, they hate Greg. Yes, they hate Onision. But they're doing it for, I would fairly say, good reasons. They're trying to bring shit to light, and hopefully something will change. How do you feel about the communities? Because they've embraced you. You're their hero. So how do you feel about that?
How do I feel about them embracing me, or them like being anti-Onision? Like
both.
I'm not sure I understand your question.
We'll start with the first, about how you feel about the community in general, and then you can also go ahead and elaborate on how you feel about you kind of being their messiah in some ways.
Well, for starters, I think I'm pretty. This is gonna sound this may be taken out of context. I don't know. I'm pretty anti-community, like myself. Like I didn't used to be, because I was part of communities. I'm not big on communities here on YouTube. I'm kind of a lone wolf. I like to be to myself. I would like to collab with certain people, but it's not that big a deal. Right. I don't really associate or call myself like I'm the anti-Onision community. I'm not part of the atheist community. I'm not part of the skeptic community. I used to, but I feel like I'm past that point of needing to feel in part to be part of a community.
Sure.
It's not needed. For me anyway. If people, and in regards to people and looking to me that are Saya, I would just say, please don't. I don't want people looking up to me. Like I've been adamant against this. I don't want people looking up to me. I'm a human. I'm flawed. I make mistakes just like other people. Not as much as some people, obviously. But,
no, not as much as some.
I'm human, and anytime somebody says like they look up to me, I just my response is please don't look up to YouTubers.
Right.
Don't find an actual person who you can interact with face to face. Don't esteem people on YouTube. It's a bad thing to do. And I'm speaking universally, not just with me, but anyone. It's not wise because the biggest problem with esteeming YouTubers or looking to YouTubers as your messiah is that they are flawed.
Right. And
you don't actually know them. You do not. You may think that you know them through their videos. They may tell you stuff, but you do not know them. You do not have an actual relationship with them. And I think there's a really clear dynamic between fans or subscribers of content creators and a content creator with their fans.
Yeah.
There's a big line down the middle that a lot of fans don't seem to understand, is that you truly don't know this person.
No,
you don't. You only see and you only hear what they allow and show you.
Right.
This includes me. Like there's a lot of aspects that people don't know about me in my day-to-day life that you would never know unless you met me. Yeah, that's my response to people who look at me, Messiah. Please don't. I'm not a role model. Not at all.
No, but it's always interesting because whenever you have these communities, they have their champion. So maybe Messiah isn't the best word to use, but champion is a much better word. I think a more acceptable one.
I think that is better. I would be more lax with that term.
Fair enough. Luna wants me to go to my Princess Dave hat, which I cannot find to save. Oh, there it is. Never mind. I found it. Thank you very much for the $3 there, my Luna baby girl. Appreciate you. They love when I put on the Princess Dave tiara. They for some reason I got weird people.
Dave, I don't think I've seen this yet.
It's special. Now you're now having a conversation with royalty. So kneel or be knelt, I guess.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't it adorable? I mean, come on. I pull it off. It's hard to do. Now,
big princess teddy bear.
I am an incredibly cuddly teddy bear princess that will, maybe send you to the gallows if you piss me off. Who knows? It's just kind of who I am. Believe it or not, we've already gone an hour just absolutely
plowing. It's really been an hour already.
I know, it's insane. So there is some other stuff that I would like to talk to you about and not just make it all about the big O, because you have, again, it goes to your diversity. It goes to everything that you've seen. ASMR.
Yes, what about it?
Right now, over the past couple of years, ASMR has had a huge growth. There's been people from the community, commentary, and other communities that have gone ASMR. Sinnoh's probably one of the biggest examples of that. Somebody who absolutely burned out so spectacularly for everybody to see in the commentary community. He went away. And what people may not have known is he reemerged in the ASMR community as JoJo. Very, very popular ASMR.
I did not know that.
Oh,
no,
really?
Yeah,
that's Sinnoh.
No, I didn't know that. I subscribed to JoJo. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's Sinnoh.
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, that was Sinnoh. I didn't realize it until he made a commentary channel under the JoJo name. And he started criticizing ASMR artists. He started going after everybody a little bit for some of the things that they were doing, but he was doing it in a commentary format. So I actually reached out to him. I got to talk to him in Discord and stuff and had a really cool conversation. And at some point, I'd like to have him on because it's interesting. You have also gone into the ASMR community. You had to know there was going to be some backlash with it. You had to have known that being where you... Why ASMR? Was this another trend chasing? Was this...
Okay, for one, I listen to ASMR almost every night. Like, it's seriously, it puts me to sleep. It relaxes me. I'm somebody who I have sometimes really bad social anxiety. So it's one of the greatest things that I've discovered that helps with that. That's no medication, no nothing, is ASMR. And yeah, I've posted a couple ASMR on my main channel, and I got some backlash from that. Rightfully so. But I listened to it actually. And I actually have I don't know if you know this, I have an ASMR channel.
I was gonna ask because I couldn't find it.
It has like 2,000 subscribers currently right now. I haven't posted in like 9 months on it, but I do plan on posting more on it. I haven't. The problem is I live in an apartment, and the apartment that I have, there's a lot of noise and a lot of dogs and a lot of sirens. And the really only time that I can do ASMR is like at nighttime.
Right.
But by the time I want to film an ASMR video, I'm too exhausted. Like I'm an old man. I like 11 o'clock at night, I'm exhausted. And I'm usually in bed typically. So that's the reason I haven't posted anything recently yet. It was called ASMR Repzion, and then I recently changed it to ASMR Daniel.
Smart.
So
get the Repzion name out of there, man.
Yeah, I was like, nah, you know. Reps, I gotta get rid of the Repzion name. There, no more. It's gonna be my actual ASMR Daniel. That's what it's called now. I don't know if there's I actually don't. It's my channel's up. I was on it the other day. I don't think I have a URL for it. I mean, there is a URL, but I don't know what it.
Trust me, I'm gonna make sure to put that link before too long. It's going in the description box. It's too good. The funny thing is, Tommy and I talked about this when he was doing the interview with you. I let him know. I made sure he knew you did ASMR. And the funny thing is, you do it well. You do it really well. Yeah, I do.
Well, the thing is, the last few times I've done it, I haven't used my new ASMR gear. I have a 3DO right now.
No, you don't. Are you going to do ear licking? Are you doing ear licking?
I have a 3DO in my other room on the floor, all hooked up to an audio interface. I think it's a HN4 audio interface. Yeah, it's Zoom handy recorder HN4. I have it right in front of me here.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it's set up. It's just I have to find the time to do it where the audio isn't disrupted, and I can't really do it through the day. So I have everything set to do it. I want to do it. I have a YouTube account for it because I needed to separate it because my audience was like, "What the fuck is you guys doing? I didn't subscribe to an ASMR." I've posted video game stuff all on my channel because I started doing video games on my main YouTube channel, and that's fine. I'm not going to change that, but like I will make a separate channel for ASMR, which I did.
I think that's a smart move. If you hit a million subs on your regular channel, you got to do me a favor. I want you to go full Frivolous Fox, ear licking video, the whole shebang. I mean, go balls out, eye contact with the camera at all times, and maybe say my name. Maybe say my name. I
scare people when I do that. I'm known for that. I can give the best eye contact, 10 minutes straight, no blinking. Yep.
Oh, that would be incredible. That would just do my heart so well. And then every so often,
that's not a bad idea.
I think it's a great
million subscribers. Make it like an hour long. Put a bunch of work into it. Absolutely.
Every so
I
often,
may do that. That's not a bad idea.
Every so often, Dave. Just say my name a couple of times. Just make it creepier. People can be like, what the fuck? Greg. I'm a banana. It'd be fucking fantastic. You're going to be rich now. This is small cut. Send me a check. That'd be amazing. All right. So I do want to
know one thing about ASMR I tried falling asleep to my own voice on ASMR, and I couldn't fucking do it. I couldn't do it. And it wouldn't work. I'm like, it kind of relaxed me, but I'm like, dude, I can't fall asleep to this. Like, no way. I don't know how other people are doing it, but clearly they are.
It's funny. There's such a stigma around it too. What do you feel about the stigma with the sexualization and other things? How do you?
I hate that. I hate the sexualization.
There's a lot of it.
But you know what? If that's what they want to market, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, it's whatever. It exists. If people want to masturbate to their ASMR people, sexual stuff and saying sex stuff, whatever. Let them do it. I know that's their prerogative.
ASMR has become.
I'm against that type of branding, but whatever.
Sure. ASMR has kind of become the photography of the 2000s. Like back in the 90s and the early 2000s, every pretty girl that couldn't really do anything else in their life, they all picked up a camera, and suddenly they're fucking, they're the best photographer in the world and take my art seriously. Now it's the same thing. You have all these 19, 20-year-old girls who have no life skills at all, really not much to offer outside of their own looks. I'm not trying to be completely dismissive for being a dick, but they got nothing else going on. So, hey, this is my art. And he probably, I want to think that it came from like the best place, like they were given head or something, and the boyfriend was like, "Man, that sounds really good, baby." Like, bing, I could do this for a living.
Yeah,
probably not.
It's bled into Twitch too now.
Oh, has it really?
Yeah, on the not lifestyle, but like it definitely is a thing. I've seen some really big ASMR channels. Sexual of like girl like her tits and cleavage showing, and she's doing ASMR on Twitch, and it works.
Oh God, and that means Twitch is going to protect them because they don't like the anti-thoughts out there. Oh boy,
no, they don't.
Careful! Don't do anything about them. Ooh, Twitch will take you down real quick. You do have a Twitch channel now. You got into Twitch recently, relatively recently, right? You started on Twitch.
Well, I've had my Twitch for a long ass time. But I'm actually like now frequently every week I'm streaming regularly, 3 times a week, every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Is this just out of your own entertainment, or is this part of like,
Yep, I love it. It's super fun. I love the live interaction. I love playing. I play video games like nonstop. Almost all my free time is either dedicated to Netflix, hiking, or my dogs, or streaming on Twitch. Like, that's
your
like
children,
all I do with my
your
free time.
aforementioned children, your 2 actual children. Yes, fucking fag. God damn it. Now, what do you feel is the biggest differences between YouTube and Twitch as a platform? For me, it's comfort level. I have a lot more comfort there, even though the rules are just as stringent, if not more so. A lot of the rules that YouTube is adopting with this new rule change that's happening with the EU TOS in particular, they're things that have existed on Twitch for a long time. Things that you do off Twitch can affect you on Twitch, and now that's coming to YouTube as well. What makes you feel a little bit more comfortable with Twitch than maybe YouTube, if anything at all?
I'm actually more nervous on Twitch than I am with YouTube's, strangely enough. And that's primarily because Twitch is really wonky with their terms of service and how they ban people permanently and then unban certain people that have like shown their vagina and they're not banned, but they get suspended for 3 weeks. And then like a guy, hits his wife or whatever, and then he's banned permanently, as he should be. But then like they flip flop everything.
They do.
I'm pretty self-conscious on Twitch when I'm speaking. Like, I swear a lot. I've slipped up saying a couple variations of the F word, which I probably shouldn't have said on stream.
Not
thankfully,
fuck,
I'm
a
not
different
banned
yet. You got to be careful with those. Those slur F words.
I do. I really do. I have to. But it's come out. I've done it a few times. I try not to. It's just sometimes when I get so angry, it just happens when you're
the F word. Where are you from? Boston? My God.
Seattle, born and raised.
Yeah. See, now that you got to be careful with. They will kick you out of that state for that.
Oh,
shit.
I know.
My
I know
God.
they will. I'll be crucified.
That's not Starbucks language. You can't do that. Nirvana didn't sing about that. What's the matter with you?
But yeah, Twitch is scary in that regard. But the one thing I do like about Twitch is that their DMCA shit isn't as crazy as YouTube is. It's like you can stream with music, and Twitch will like block out if it's copyrighted, will block out the music, but like the rest of the stream you can watch.
Right.
With YouTube, you have 3 seconds of a stream, you have a 3-hour video that's dedicated, or a movie that you made, and whoop-de-fucking-do, 3 seconds of an audio clip, the whole thing's demonetized and copyrighted and then blocked.
You're done.
So, and there's nothing you can do to appeal it.
No.
So like in regards to that, I love Twitch far more. I love Twitch because as soon as you're done streaming, instantly on demand. Instantly. The whole 5-6 hour stream you had, you can instantly watch it on demand, scroll through at any point in time, watch things, clip it. YouTube, 3-4 hour stream takes up to like sometimes 2-3 days to process fully.
Yep. And some of it might just disappear. Some of it may not be there.
That's happened too. Yep. On my streams when I used to stream on YouTube, just big old chunks gone. Like, what? What happened to it?
Sense. Yeah. Same things happen. You said something about flip-flopping earlier, and I kind of want to defend it for a second. Just really quick. I don't have a problem with flip-flopping for the most part, as long as they get it right in the end. The Mr. Deadmau5 thing, I think, is definitely one of those that they shouldn't have flip-flopped on, but in some ways I understand why they did. If you guys don't know what the Mr. Deadmau5 situation is an Australian YouTuber who...
Yes, I did hear more about the story that I didn't know, and I judged it on the initial release. I mean, both parties are actually fucked. They both fucked up.
They both did this in front of their children. I mean...
the one thing that went viral on Twitter, it's like... thing, and I was like, this looks really bad, but there has to be more to it, and there was.
It was
sure.
What made it complicated, I think, and if I had to guess, this is why initially he only received a 30-day ban and was actually able to put up another channel at first, was she dropped all the charges. She dropped all the charges. And she not only dropped all the charges, she recanted her testimony, which is huge because there's no crime, So what do you don't see the punch thrown on camera. You hear it, but you don't see it. And I do think there's a big difference when it comes to a corporation deciding who they're going to keep and who they're going to get rid of. But the backlash that they received for even the flip-flopping at the beginning is what inevitably led them to banning him permanently. Are you okay with that? Because that's public justice. If there's ever a pure case of it, that's public justice. How do you feel about
I don't
that?
think that he should have been banned permanently for that, given the fact that we got more information after the fact.
Right.
But when I speak of flip-flopping, what I'm more referring to, like, a really common thing is, like, if I stream without my shirt on, there have been streamers who've had no shirt on, and they've been banned permanently for that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, and then a woman who has shown her vagina on stream or shown her full naked nipple, that they get suspended for 20, 30 days, but not banned. But a guy without a shirt off is permanently banned. Like, it's really, there's been instances of a guy whipping his dick out on stream and he's been banned permanently, but a woman whips her pussy out for a few seconds, she's 30-day ban. That's what I mean by flip-flopping. Like, it's really inconsistent with how they deal with ban. And in the case of Mr. Moss, I think I don't like the fact that he was permanently banned due to pressure. I don't like it when employers ban people because people are pressuring companies to fire somebody because they said a joke or something. That whole outrage culture, I'm really against.
Right.
I don't think you should come for people's jobs because somebody thinks a different way or you think that they're white and they're inherently racist, so you try to get them fired because of their skin color. Like, that's a thing. I shouldn't be a thing, but it is. Well, people try to get people fired from their actual real life jobs all the time.
All the time, just because of your opinions. With Mr. Deadmau5, it's this is a very, very visceral thing. When you hear what happened in that, it's hard not to be emotionally affected by it. And when you have those, people will get very binary. And I've seen a lot of people that I respect. No, fuck, this guy needs to be gone 100%. Doesn't matter. I don't care that it's been recanted. None of that stuff matters. And they'll go after people because of anti-views on that. And I think we've seen this theme quite a bit throughout the course of this show, where that is just, there's no critical thought there. When you become binary and you become extremist on any point, even when you're trying to do the right thing, you're not allowing for the thought process to take place, and you're allowing the backlash to dictate your movements. Isn't that what eventually is going to end all of this stuff on social media? Do you think that's a fair statement?
Absolutely. 100% agree with that. I think Twitter is actually going to get worse.
Oh,
it's pretty bad already.
It's pretty bad. You want to talk about inconsistent?
I think it's going to get worse. Yeah, Twitter's insane.
Ugh.
I demolished my last Twitter account. I had 65,000 followers on it or something like that. I just deleted it because everything, people were going back and reporting me, and I kept getting banned from speaking for like several weeks at a time. I'm like, dude, I'm done with this. I have like 25,000 tweets. I don't know all of what I've said from 2007. I'm going to get rid of it. Screw it. Started a new one.
Is that partially because you do have a real life job that you kind of have to protect now? You kind of got to worry about
partially. Partially, yes. That is a factor. I have to be way more conscious with what I say, especially on social media now, especially when I have a welding job, especially that I'm in the process of becoming union, especially a teacher's assistant. I'm in the early process of becoming a teacher's assistant at my welding school for my last quarter, and even after it. So like after I graduate, I can work for the college as a teacher's aide for I think 3 or 4 months, and it's like starts off at $17 an hour, which isn't bad. But
Not bad.
That type of stuff, if I was to do that, I have to be so careful now with what I say, how I word it, because fucking people, they go, what? You said something. You said the word fag in 2005, and now it's up commonly that like you use that term.
Yep.
Now you're screwed. Now they try to get you fired because you use that.
Yeah,
Like,
and they will, especially in your
it's
liberal
for protection. It's not that I want to censor myself. It's not that I want to delete stuff. It's because if I want success and I don't want crazy people trying to ruin my life, I have to do that.
It's personal responsibility. I mean, you know the communities that you're going into. Look, here's the reality. You've tangled with two of the most toxic fucking communities on YouTube. The Onision community and the fucking Joy Sparkles community. There are more goddamn kooks in that shit than anywhere else, man.
I would actually say, I'm going to say this. The Joy Sparkle, the small little smidgen that's left,
right?
They're worse than the Onion community by far.
Why do you think that is?
They are 10 times worse.
Why do you think that is?
I think because Joy attracts older people who have health-related issues, and therefore they're more defensive, and they relate to her based upon the things that she says. That's why I think. That's what I think. I don't know that for sure. I don't know her audience based is age or stuff, but just from like my experience on dealing with having tweets sent to me by her crazy joy tards that we would like to call them, a lot of them are older people.
Yeah.
So
it kind of goes back to
are very black and white.
Yeah, very much so. It kind of goes back to that religious standpoint in some ways. It's that fervor that they'll have in that belief of what these people are saying so much that they'll attack others for just disagreeing. And they may use that against you in your real life job. How much of it, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 to 10 banana boys, how worried are you about somebody potentially taking even what you just said? You just said fact 2 seconds ago. Do you worry about that being taken and being used against you? How worried are you?
Not so much. Not so much. If I was like on stream and I was screaming that towards like a player, which I'm gonna say I've done that before,
right.
As just like not to a player, but like to myself on stream. I never scream slurs at other players.
You had a PewDiePie moment.
Like, I'm not one of those toxic video gamer players, who like scream in the microphone and say horrible shit.
Right.
I have gamer rage, and I say things to myself, and like I did something stupid or I messed up and I blame myself or I yell. That I'm very conscious of it, and it worries me definitely. But I'm not worried about being taken out of context here, because like it's. If somebody does, then it's clearly a way to, they're intentionally going out of their way to do it. And if somebody intentionally goes out of their way to do it, it's really easy to disprove.
Very true.
So
very true. You can
it's easy to disprove. And if you can fight with context, I think there's a lot more leniency to say certain stuff.
Right.
For sure.
I think so too. We're going to take some calls in just a moment. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, go for it.
Jump into waiting to call on my Discord, guys. I'm sure one of my wonderful mods will go ahead and throw the link into Discord momentarily. You can come in and ask Mr.Repzion or myself any question that you might have. And while we're waiting for these wonderful people to come in here and probably say some crazy stuff, because my callers, oofa, this will be fun. I want to ask you one more thing, because I think we've done a really good job tonight of highlighting a lot of things on perspective and different communities and all that type of stuff. I think it's been a really cool conversation. So I want to kind of put things in a nice little bow. You're young enough to where you grew up with this primarily. You grew up on YouTube in front of a lot of people. People have gotten to see you from one point and become the man that you are now. That's a special thing. But we've talked about how these communities will sometimes elevate people to these godlike statures or demonize people to the point where they really can't get on with their own lives. We lived so long as a civilization without this interconnectivity that we now have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is this one of those genie out of the bottle situations that we were repressed in not being able to communicate with people massively, and now we can? So it's kind of being misused. Do you feel there's going to be a balance struck at some point? Or is this only going to get worse going forward?
Oh, I don't think there's any balance. It's just going to get worse. I really believe. Like, I think the rise of social media, because like I grew up in the 90s. I was a 90s kid. I didn't really use the internet until like 98. And even then, in the 98, 97, it was on dial-up, right?
Right,
so
yeah.
We didn't really have, back when porn would take 3 minutes to load, pixel by pixel, nipple by nipple. It was a horrible time. But now it's like, we have like 5-year-olds popping out of the room with a cell phone in their hand.
Right.
Everybody's connected to social media. And as I'm part of connected, I'm also connected to social media, but I'm really against it. I'm against social media in the context of like it's too many people's identities.
Right.
It's so many younger generation, even people my age, are just so riddled in having to do Twitter every single day.
Yeah.
Like I just got back from Vegas and I took some photos with my phone. I did a couple tweets, but for the majority of that week and a half I was there, I literally hardly was on social media at all. Like I just spent time with friends. We did activities. We went out. We shot guns. We went clubbing. Like we did all these fun things. And I felt it was wonderful. It was a wonderful feeling. It's so refreshing not to be connected to social media all the time. But
sure.
With this generation of every kid has a cell phone now, it is only going to get worse. The rise of social media is going to only increase, and I don't think it's ever good. We've reached this part where it's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow to the point of where I think actual real life jobs are going to be, well, they already are, but
right.
There's going to be a decrease in real life jobs due to the technological advances that we're having, not only in social media, on data, but like overall jobs as a whole circle with technology that we have. It's advancing so much. You know, what automotive stuff now is like almost all the welding stuff in cars and stuff is all they're robots. They all do it automatically. Now, of course, you need welders to do the manual stuff that robots can't do, but it's crazy. And that's all linked to social media and our rise of technology. Oh, yeah. It's not going to get better.
Well, technology dictates what happens in the next, so many years, a period of time. We've seen an industrial revolution. We've seen it in every major advancement in technology, from the pointy stick that would allow you to fucking kill the other cavemen who had a better cave than you did. It's just like, that is what happens. People gravitate towards it and use it for whatever means they find most acceptable. But this is different in that it's not just a technological advancement that allows us to make our lives easier. It takes away social skills and changes the social paradigm.
Oh, completely.
Yeah, right.
Because I hate what social done with relationships and like online relationships. People don't know how to go and sit down and have a cup of coffee with each other and talk.
Right.
They don't. They're sucked. I've went on dates in my past life where a girl's just on her cell phone the majority of the time while she's talking to me. It's like, it's so rude. Like, people don't know how to socialize because it's creating, like, I grew up with, my lack of socialization skills was due to religion and like being homeschooled my whole life and all that shit. Like, it was really horrible. But now it's like, it's not about, even so much growing up in the church. It's like, this is now through social media. Now the social media is taking effect on the socialization of children and the younger generation by making them reliant upon emojis all the time. They don't know how to express their emotions. And it's sad. It's scary. Like, when I have a child, my kid is not going to phone by 5. I'm thinking like maybe 11, 12. And the other thing is, like, kids get bullied in school now. Public education. If you're that 11-year-old that doesn't have a cell phone, and all your other friends have cell phones, you're bullied because of that.
Oh, yeah.
You get made fun of that shit.
Well, that's nothing new. I mean, the person who didn't have the best shoes, they were always going to get fucking made fun of in school. So there's nothing new there, but it is a little bit different because now it's not just that you're not wearing the latest trend or anything. Now
but you're not being connected.
Right. You're not participating in the social group in a much more meaningful way because this is the social connection now. You know,
I'm 9 years old. I'm taking some Snapchat filter cleavage type of stuff. Like, that's where we're going for. It's just getting younger and younger. And it's scary, sad, and it's an open door to too many predators, in my opinion.
No question. No, and we've seen it. Look, the mainstream media has had its a lot of issues with the treatment of child actors. I don't even want to imagine the stories that are going to come out in 10, 15 years about some like the JoJo Siwas of the world and all these young stars that, that have become so big and the things that are going to come out. Because there's no responsibility being taken. None. There's checks and balances in the mainstream media. There's none of that here. There's no regulation. It worries the fuck out of me. It's going to be awful.
Yeah, it does me too. It's going to be having kids in this in the next 5-6 years is going to be. Whew, I don't know. I'm scared to bring them in.
Right. Because now
I'm scared of my parenting skills.
You'll be fine.
I don't want to censor them.
You know what you need to do? This is exactly what you got to do. Break them in. Break them in the way that we had to be brought in, because now everyone who's being born gets the instant, iPhone 10 with the best shit. Give him a clamshell first, because I remember give him a clamshell phone first. Make him really appreciate it.
Can you hear the ocean? that you can talk to the ocean.
It's funny because I remember the days, and this is probably what keeps me grounded with social media. My early days was AOL chat rooms, age, sex, location. I was trying to cyberly fuck everything I could.
That too. ASL.
I was trying to fuck everything I could in a cyber text. It didn't mean it. I had 15 different girlfriends all over the country, and I was like 13, 14. I was 7 different ages.
Living at large.
Yeah, I was
popular
catfishing.
Man.
It was awful. And I'm sorry to anybody who ever got involved with Binky Talk. I don't even remember the fucking name, the number I had behind it. Binky Talk something on AOL. If you interacted with me, I'm really sorry. I was a piece of shit back then. I really was. I was not 37, and I did not own any oil refineries. I'm sorry to break it if you were counting on that one day. I don't know. But there's an appreciation there because I had to go through those progressions. Nowadays people don't have appreciation for these things because it's so instant and it's incredible. Take them through the progression, make them appreciate it, make them carry around a Game Boy brick, you know?
Absolutely. I have a Game Boy brick too. An old school green, black and white.
They're bringing them back.
Heavy.
They're bringing them back. They're re-releasing this shit now. They're re-releasing. I saw this here in Germany. There was they had the redesigned original Jurassic Park Game Boy, and they're selling like goddamn hotcakes. You're seeing the mini NESs. You're seeing the Nintendo Minis.
Yep.
How do you feel about this? You are a gamer, and we'll end on this because we're not getting any callers. And sometimes that happens. That's all right. You guys are missing out, not us. We're cool. But as a gamer, how do you feel about all this stuff that's kind of everything old is new again? We're seeing the retro fad come back into
I'm not against it. I like it. I think it's good. I mean, with the exception of the PlayStation thing that came out recently. What was it? The
PlayStation Mini, yeah.
PlayStation 2 or was it PlayStation Mini? Yeah. That was horrible. That is a horrible little console or little thing.
Oh,
but like
awful.
The Super NES, the original NES, Super Nintendo, stuff like that. I love it. I think it's really cool. I love being able to play these older games on like high definition. I don't have to use an emulator anymore. They connect right to my big TV. They work. I like it. I don't see anything really wrong with that as long as if it's done right. And what Sony did with their PlayStation Mini, it's horrible. They found out that the PlayStation Mini, they just took already emulated games that they had off of like an emulator site and just imported them onto the library. So like game schematics and the controllers and didn't work properly and all that stuff.
So lazy.
Which is why it was lazy as shit. Nintendo's doing the exact opposite. They're putting a lot of effort. That's why they're selling like crazy. Nintendo, all their Super NES and the NES is just play those classics all in like on a full screen and audio, and it connects to your TV. It's awesome. I love it.
It's funny too,
and it's cool because you have this generation to connect to games that they would never have even known about.
Yeah, it's very true, and I think part of it is because the gaming market has. Man, the creativity is weird right now with some of the new games that are being released. And there's not a lot of companies with the finger on the pulse. Nintendo, 10 years ago, people were me included, writing the obituary for Nintendo. I thought they were going to go the way of Sega. After the Dreamcast, they started making games. I thought Nintendo was going to go that. The Wii, the Wii U, it seemed like they had no idea. Then they put out the Switch. And now they're going the retro way. They really do seem to know exactly what they're doing. And we shouldn't be surprised. It's Nintendo, so it's kind of neat. So where do you think the future is going to be for gaming with, especially as streamers? How do you think that evolution is going to happen next? Are you going to become Mr.Repzion in VR? Is that going to be the next big thing?
Oh, that would actually be pretty cool.
Pet my dogs.
I honestly, I don't know where it's going to go. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know what to predict because it's so unpredictable with video games and our technology. I mean, I have an HTC Vive, and I've only played it a couple times. I love it, but it's like, VR still needs a lot more improvement, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Oh, I agree. 100%. 100%. We're not getting any callers, and that's completely okay. Oh no, never mind. Excuse me.
Oh no, I see.
Excuse me. Yeah, never mind. We do have some. Let's go ahead and bring them in. I was going to wrap it up, but you know what? We will take some callers. We rambled on long enough to guilt people into calling in. Look at us. We're amazing. All right, let's start with one of my good buddies, longtime friends, and sometimes voice on the channel, the one, the only fan fiction narrator you're live with, Dead on Dave, and Mr. Repzion. What do you got?
Oh, good afternoon,
Listen
gentlemen.
to that shit.
Ooh, you have
Listen.
a very deep voice. Holy shit.
Isn't that
I'm
wonderful?
Hi,
intimidated.
Rip. How are you? Hey, brother, I got a question for you. It's about, I think you and another person were the very first YouTube drama that I had ever watched and was invested in listening. Are you okay with talking about like past stuff? Because I don't want to ask if it's not really.
No, yeah, you
something-
can bring out anything. I don't care.
Okay, good deal.
Anything.
It's what's his name? Some guy something. Do you remember who I'm talking about?
I think some guy 827 is that?
287 maybe.
I'm
Oh,
dyslexic.
this is a deep cut. This is a deep cut. All
Yeah.
right.
That is old.
Yeah, dude, it was the very first YouTube drama that I was ever a part of witnessing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I wasn't wanting to ask is because I don't think that you had any videos on your channel about him. Whatever happened with all of that?
I believe. I'm pretty sure I still have one. Let me.
I think most of the stuff that I had seen was all.
I made
yeah.
one video to him. I don't see it.
Oh man,
I
maybe he
swear.
was personally invested with
I don't really know. I don't really know what he's up to nowadays because we had a small little beef back in the day. God, I'm trying to even remember. I don't even remember what it was. I don't even remember what it was
See, this is big for him.
because I know he made anti-Onision videos. I made anti-Onision videos. He accused me of something.
Yeah.
He accused me of something. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Oh, this is funny.
I think it was there was a group of people in Las Vegas. I'm trying to remember. It was years ago. There was a group of people in Las Vegas that he didn't see eye to eye with, or they didn't see eye to eye with him. I guess he was a part of the group and then was ostracized because of the disagreement that they had. I'm not sure what exactly was going on.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't really. I don't know. I talked to him a couple times in my almost 5-6 years ago, and I talked to him a few times, and then he accused me of something. I didn't do it. He accused me of it, and then we just really never talked again after that.
Oh, that's that's
And
really,
I
Is that
know-
disappointing for you? How disappointed are you right now? It's like it
I'm
meant
sorry.
nothing.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I was always curious.
I just
about
looked
what
up
was
his
going on.
channel. He doesn't really post anything on. He doesn't talk about Onision anymore.
Yeah, I think it's all. stuff
Yeah,
that
he does
he's got.
music or something now. Like his channel's completely different.
You just killed someone's childhood. You killed
I'm
their YouTube
sorry.
childhood. You just ended his innocence completely. That's funny. It's like finding out wrestling's fake. It's like, what? The hell? Unbelievable.
What do you mean, wrestling?
Still real to me, damn it. I got to let you know something, fan fiction narrator. Leaping Lizard said this is a voice that causes women to straddle their speakers. This is 100% true. And VHS Archive says that voice has my Filipino tubes vibrating. So
Yeah, dude, you fanfiction narrator, you need to do some
Usually eggs will
ASMR.
start dropping.
Doing the ASMR voice right now.
yeah,
Yeah, eggs start
Like,
dropping.
I could
whenever
fall
start
asleep to your
speaking.
voice.
I could too.
Totally.
I can do a lot of
Awesome,
things to your
thank you.
voice. Jesus.
Oh,
All right, never mind. Now you made it creepy. You have anything else for the man?
no, gentlemen, that's all I got for you. Thank
Thanks
you,
a lot, buddy.
Repzion. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take it easy, man.
Bye.
Really good dude, fan fiction narrator, man. Really, really cool guy. I highly recommend you guys checking out his content. All right, let's. We got one more caller. Relapse. This will be fun. What's going on, Relapse? You're live with Dead on Dave and Mr.Repzion. What do you got?
Hello.
Oh, yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
We can.
Yep, loud and clear.
Wow, okay, this is the first time thing. How's it going, guys?
Not bad.
Going well. Welcome.
All right, well, when I joined the stream, I was in the middle of playing UFC, and I heard you guys start talking about Twitch, and I was wanting to know, what do you guys think has more of a brighter future, Twitch or YouTube?
Good question. Good question. I'm gonna pass this
They
one to
both
you
have their
first.
pros. They both have their pros and cons, though. I mentioned earlier the thing I love about Twitch is their video on demand, because YouTube created their whole YouTube gaming thing to compete with Twitch, and YouTube gaming is kind of a joke. I'm gonna be honest.
It
Like
is.
the whole live stream thing.
True.
You go on their website, on their whole streaming thing, and it's like there's some people streaming, but it's not nearly as popular as Twitch or anything. And that's primarily because, one, YouTube can't put videos on demand. Like their system, how they're operated is just shit. It's dog shit tier. This stream that we're on right now, it's probably not going to process until like a full day and a half or so before you can even watch it. You stream 12 hours on Twitch. The moment you press that stop button,
Bang.
The whole thing's encoded and right there to watch any place that on the whole 10 hours. It's crazy.
How do you think they do that though? Why do you think YouTube can't do it, but Twitch can?
I honestly don't know how they do the processing that fast.
Smaller traffic. I think it's as simple as smaller traffic, not as much traffic.
Really?
I think it's that simple. I think because I think the coding is so different, and I've heard this from people talking about like the coding aspects of Twitch compared to YouTube. YouTube is really essentially a holding cell for your videos. Twitch wasn't. Remember, for a long time, Twitch had the system where your videos would stay only 9 videos at a time would stay up there, and then they would process out. Now they've changed that, but they got the tools to be able to upgrade and continue to advance with more traffic. So I think they've got we don't know how long that's going to last. We don't know if when they get to billions of people that are trying to stream at the same time, if that's going to hold up, but it looks pretty damn good with Amazon being on board with them. They got the funding for it, so maybe they'll be able to do it. It's unlikely because it's such a mass. There's only one other platform that's like YouTube that could do the things that they do, and that's Pornhub. There's no one else.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's no one else. It's the same website. It's crazy. No one else has figured it out. It's not an easy thing to do.
And that's completely true because like the people on YouTube are always trying to promote their Twitch channels.
Yeah, which I've gotten my channel taken down for.
I've been doing it like crazy.
Don't go live on Twitch. Don't do that. Don't do a live on Twitch video because if you do, you're fucking done. They will ban. They got me.
Yeah.
They got me for it. I was one of the first.
They did?
Yep.
Wait, what?
Yep, I would do the.
I used to post live on Twitch videos all the time on YouTube.
Yep, I would do no voice, no nothing. I would just have a video that had live on Twitch now, and some music behind it and all of that, but all copyright stuff. It was totally fine, and I would get hit because the reason was I was promoting, and this is against the terms of services, promoting and directly taking traffic away from YouTube. That's in the terms of services. You can't have a video that.
I know it is, but like you're so small. Your channel's small.
It had 6 views. It had 6 views. I got reported.
Wow.
Dude, you must have somebody from YouTube staff on your channel or something.
Catch 33, man. I had some haters. They got my ass. And they did it to me again too. I had my channel taken down for 6 months or 3 months in the summer because of an advertising thing that nobody gets hit on. It's unbelievable. It's so crazy. It really is.
Yeah, and YouTube, I'm up to 70 subscribers, which isn't good.
Hey,
but when
congrats.
YouTube did their little subscriber swipe, they unsubscribed 3 of my friends and like one of my other like internet friends, I guess you could say, and they said they didn't even manually unsubscribe themselves.
Yeah, well, YouTube's like Onision, okay? They don't take responsibility. That's what you got to learn. It's clear as day that people get unsubbed. I've been unsubbed from one of my favorite ASMR channels, and like it's a clear as day issue, and yet they continue to deny that it even exists.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
Yeah.
A little tip for people who don't know as well. Once you become affiliate, I don't think this is true until you become affiliate, but once you're affiliate on Twitch, any content that you produce on Twitch cannot be taken to YouTube. You can't rip your video for 24 hours. Not a lot of people know this, and you can get terminated for it. This is 100%. You can't.
Even if you're a smaller
channel. Can you say that again? So you can't take the Twitch stream and put it on YouTube
for 24 hours. Or if they
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got to wait 24. If you're an affiliate, I think.
Well, I'm a Twitch partner.
Oh, you have it even more stringent. Yeah.
See, I snuck in. So back when Twitch was still really, I think this is 2011, 2010, right?
Was it behind its old name at the time?
Twitch basically had their partnership application, which you would use your YouTube channel to apply. Basically, if you had a YouTube channel with over 100,000 subscribers, you could apply for a Twitch partnership with your YouTube channel, and then they give you partnership. And that's how I got partnership. Because it's funny, because people come into my stream and they say, oh, you have only 30 viewers. How are you? It's changed a lot. Now it's really restrictive. Like it's a lot more challenging to get a partnership on Twitch now.
Yeah, you got to average 70 viewers now. You got to average 70 viewers. You got to also meet some other requirements, and you have to do that in a 30-day period. If you don't, you can't get.
Yeah,
partnered.
I don't even meet 70 viewers.
No, I've been trying. I've been trying so hard. I'm getting closer. We're getting average into the 30s now, which is really nice. So hopefully one day we'll get there and we'll be able to support the Twitch, motherfuckers. I want to become partner. I want to be like Repzion. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Thanks for the call.
100. See ya.
100. Hey, that's a way to end it. It's good stuff. I think we have a pretty good stopping point here. I think it's been a really damn good stream. How do you feel about the interview so far? You like everything that's happened?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Yeah, everything's been fantastic. It's gone super smoothly. Yes, good questions.
This is typically the last question that I've been trying to ask on every interview, but I always fucking forget it because I am awful at most things that I do in life. So I'm going to ask you this. Doing interviews, being in the spotlight for as long as you have been, people ask you stuff. What's the one thing that you wish an interviewer or somebody in your comment section, anybody, would ask you that you've yet to be asked?
Oh, God.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
That's
Oh.
I don't even, let me think. Question? I haven't asked so many things. I wish, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that question.
Any aspects of your life that you wish people would talk about that? If not a direct question on a certain thing, any aspects of your personal life, your private life, or even your online persona that maybe doesn't get touched on that you would like people to kind of go into a little bit more or inquiry about?
Well, I would like people to ask about trades. You know what? That's a thing.
Yeah.
Getting into trades. You know, plumber, electrician, carpentry, stuff like that. Or because I'm specifically a welder, I would love people to ask me more about welding because I've learned so much, and I'm kind of a teacher's aide right now, although I'm not signed up for it. But my teacher, because I'm an advanced welding student at the college, I've been helping a lot of students, and they've been asking me questions, which I'm allowed to answer because I'm an advanced student at the welding department. So the teacher, it takes pressure off them. I would say, yeah, that would be welding stuff in regards to education and school. You know, ask me about college because I went to college. I was going to get a 4-year degree, and then I realized that it's a waste of money, and I'm just going to get myself in debt. Don't fall for the whole, you have to have a 4-year degree to be successful, because that is a lie. You do not. You do not. You don't need a crazy expensive college education to get a career, to be successful at something.
There are some exceptions, unfortunately. If you want to go into medical fields or therapy fields, you're going to have to go the long way around. Unfortunately, there's no real way to get around it. But in general, you're right. You can make a living and be able to do what you want to do without going in debt for the rest of your life. There's no question there. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. I think a good ending point. Tell the kids where they can find you. Tell everybody what you're doing and anything else that we may not have covered that you want to end the show on. Floor is yours, my friend.
YouTube channel is Repzion, R-E-P. Just type in my name in the search bar. It will pop up first. You'll probably see my most. My Twitch is Repzion. Same thing. Everything's Repzion. My Twitter is DD Sulzbach, DDSULZBACH. And that's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you all very much. And thank you, Mr. Repzion, for coming on, being so open and honest about stuff, man. It's always nice. I love hearing people's stories. That's why I do this. And you gave us a hell of a one today. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolute blast. Thank you, everybody who supported the channel today. Make sure you let everybody know that we're doing some incredible stuff here with great interviews we have coming up. We have Billy the Fridge, The Right Opinion, and probably the next one will be Anything for Views. Chad himself is going to be here. That means I've gotten everyone.
Oh, I like all three of those people.
Yeah, we got some good stuff coming. And maybe we'll even get, how can you not? How can you not love somebody who has fat cunt tattooed on their stomach? I mean, come on. That
PewDiePie tattoo gets me.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to get that one right on my ass. It's going to be fantastic. And then hopefully we'll also get Zoe Berger on at some point. Don't duck me, Zoe. Don't duck me. And Keemstar, say my name.
Be a lady. Be dependable. fit the stereotype.
That's right.
Stand men up.
All right, Mr. Repzion, please go ahead and mute your microphone. We're going to go ahead and do the outro. Thank you all very much for being here. Keep it copious, folks. And remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you tomorrow on Twitch. Good night. Hit me with that outro, GunCannon. If you think that I've forgotten about you, we're going to get you eventually. Stop ducking me. And remember, if you go to mystery crates, make sure you get what you pay for. Stop making it about child gambling, you fucking idiots. Good night.